Yo, what is going on, Gamehouse? I am Germ here. In this video today, we're going to be going over the new patch notes that are being teased. This is just a couple of minutes ago. Actually, 6 minutes ago, this tweet just dropped. So we're right on top of this, bringing you guys the very latest from the League of Legends world. This is from Riot Froxon. He is the lead designer for the League Balance team and preseason for the Summoner's Rift team. He tweeted out this, a few changes to off-meta builds. That is always very, very fun and exciting, as well as some changes to various languishing champions. I don't exactly know what that word means, but I assume that means champions who are not doing so well. Mostly not trying to overhaul the practice environment, but addressing a few clearly weak champions and some that are outliers. So that is what is interesting, that now the Worlds patch has already come out. 12.18 is the Worlds patch. Obviously, 12.19 is still going to come out during Worlds, so I think he's saying that they don't want to mess up like Worlds practice and all that stuff way too much. But the Worlds patch is done. The competitive season's over. Now they can start to do some more interesting, some more fun things, not have to worry about completely breaking the competitive metagame. They can just focus on hopefully making solo queue the most enjoyable environment possible, which means some off-meta builds, some wacky stuff, bringing some old champions back, messing with the meta a lot more, and then not having to get that backlash, you know, from the competitive scene and all of that. So here is the patch 12.19 things that are coming out. These are not the full changes, obviously. It's just champion names for the buffs and nerfs, and we'll go over all these and give some of my thoughts and opinions. But the full changes, what they're thinking about doing, doesn't mean the official changes. It could still change between now and when the patch drops, which I believe is like a week from Wednesday. You know, it's usually like 8, 9, 10 days after this first tweet comes out. But those like full changes, what the abilities, numbers, all that is, that should be coming out tomorrow. But here are at least the outline of the patch notes. This is Fizz getting a buff, which I think is very, very exciting. I am a Fizz one trick, but the last, I would say, season, maybe 2 seasons, has been a little bit frustrating because people like think Fizz is really annoying to play against, and he is. His E's crazy, his ult getting one shot by him, that sucks, but really he hasn't been that great in the meta, and mid as a position has kind of been getting weaker as well. Fizz has definitely felt pretty bad to play. When he's been good, he's felt bad to play against. When he's been bad, he's just really impossible to play. So I'm actually excited for some Fizz buffs. They've been changing him a lot over the past couple of years, just small change, small buff, small nerf, small buff, small nerf, and they can't really get it right. Hopefully they're able to get him into a good spot. Mortal Reminder getting a buff, I think that should be a very, very nice thing to see. I don't think Mortal Reminder has been terrible, but you know, I'm down to see it hopefully rising in play a little bit more. Udyr top is getting a buff. This is a little bit strange to me. I know Udyr hasn't necessarily been doing all that great since the rework came out. I'm not sure if they want him to be able to play multiple roles. I'm not sure if they want him to just be a top laner in general. Obviously, historically, he has been a jungler, so I don't know. Hopefully they can bounce him between multiple positions, have him be good without totally being overpowering. But I do fear with Udyr, he is a little bit of a stat stick, just like he used to be, since all of his abilities and kit are so like simple and straightforward. But we'll see. Ryze getting some buffs. I'm always down for that. I think Ryze is actually a pretty interesting champion. Obviously, he's one of those champions that struggles to find a place in between solo queue and the competitive scene, where when he's nerfed adequately in the competitive scene, he's so terrible in solo queue, but when he's even decent in solo queue, he's so broken in the competitive scene. But again, with the competitive season being done, they can maybe buff up Ryze a little bit and have him be played. I think he's pretty fun and interesting to play, and an interesting solo queue champion, actually. Ekko, seems like Ekko has been permanently dominant in the meta for the past couple of years, but then in season 12, I don't know, I haven't seen as much of him, so I guess it was just time for Ekko to come back. Very, very popular and fun to play champion. Jinx seems like she was bad for like a couple of patches. They're already looking to buff her up, despite the fact that Jinx dominated a lot of the season 12 meta. Sona Nasus getting some buffs. Those are, you know, 2 kind of interesting champions we haven't been seeing as much of as well. Be interesting to see what they do for them. And then various off-meta builds. I know some of the stuff they were talking about was like AP Blitzcrank or like attack speed Blitzcrank. I don't even know. They posted some of the changes they were making on PB and stuff. We'll have to see what happens here. I do think off-meta builds can be fun and interesting. I think also sometimes they can be a little dumb, a little game-breaking, maybe induce some people to trolling in your game, but I think they're fun for content. I think they're fun for streamers, and I think they're fun giving people a refreshing way to play their favorite champions or their favorite positions or their favorite picks or whatever, so I think it's cool. I do think also giving players, making players make like meaningful or interesting decisions about what the best build is or the best play style or the best strategy, rather than just having like one cookie-cutter way to go. So I don't know. I'm down for some various off off-meta builds, even though it's not very descriptive. We're getting some nerfs to Master Yi. Has he been problematic in this last patch? I don't know. I haven't really noticed him a ton in my games or really seen that he's been that strong. I don't know. Kind of weird to me. And then Rek'Sai getting some nerfs as well. Syndra getting some readjustments. She's getting kind of like a mini rework or a mid-scope update or whatever. We have a whole nother video on the TGH channel all about that Syndra mid-scope update, so definitely check that out if you guys want to see more about that. And then we have some Eclipse nerfs incoming. This is what patch 12.19 is looking like. Overall, I think this looks like a pretty fun patch. A lot of buffs to a lot of fun and interesting champions. Maybe some champions that are a little frustrating to play against, or champions that have been kind of dominant in the metagame as of late. I don't think people are ever going to complain that much about Master Yi nerfs or Rek'Sai nerfs. Syndra rework coming. Not very many item changes or game changes or anything like that, but as far as the champions that are getting changed, I think it looks pretty exciting to me. It should be pretty fun to play, but that's pretty much it for this video today, guys. Let me drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate that so much. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about any of the changes we talked about in this video today. Subscribe, stay up to date on all the Game House's latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one, but until then, peace.